you as an individual, you give it, to Mr. Tawo, Dr. Oyedele, but then as an analyst, you have your reservations. Are we able to talk about those reservations?
Of course, the reservations are out there. Ending of last year, for instance, ending of last year, we begin to hear that the law they want to implement, that's the one gazetted, was a bit different from the one that was passed by the National Assembly, And if you ask me, up until now, that very issue have not been resolved. That very issue have not been resolved. And if you see a document, even if it's comma or full stop that was added or removed, that changes everything. You need to go back and and do it properly. We heard that issues around threshold of allowable. For instance, for MSMEs, what the National Assembly passed was minimum of 100 million per annum in turnover, but what was gazetted, we are seeing 25 million, and that brings more MSMEs into it, Just to give you an example, and some powers of the federal or Nigerian Revenue Service, some powers, giving them power beyond just administrating the tax processes, or to the power of adjudication and the power, usurping the power of the court and everything. Some of those issues were raised, even by the lawmakers themselves, were canvassed. That issue have not been resolved, and we're implementing this tax. And this is one of the areas that Nigerians are agitated about. We are also told that this law is meant to excuse the poor. So anybody that earns less than or equal to 800,000 naira is exempted from tax.
Yes, we're getting to that point, because this is what has really gotten people concerned. They want to know, what will I be paying? What do I have to earn for me to pay a certain percentage? So let's take it from there. We hear about 0 to 25% for those who are, and then also help us differentiate from personal income tax to like company tax also. Let's break it down.
Okay, let me just go to company tax, because that is straight. Companies have been paying tax forever. For company income tax, they did not increase the tax rate.
So tell us
at all. It's 30%.
Okay.
And it is on profit. Throughout the year, you've transacted, you've made money, and you come up with your financial statement as a company. Any amount you declare as profit, not on turnover, you pay 30%. It's been 30%, and this government is even promising that they may consider reducing it or reversing it from 30 to 25%. That remains to be seen, but nothing really changed for company. The only thing that would have changed, or that changed, is the threshold for MSMEs, small and medium enterprises, that doesn't pay tax. Anything if their turnover is about 25 million and below, zero tax. This tax law tried to increase the threshold, to 100 million. That's still been not too clear about the issue about arbitrariness in the gazetted version and the past version. I believe the tax authorities have to ensure that it is 100 million. So for companies, it's very clear, and this is what we have seen before. This is what we've been practicing. I think the only thing that also changed, not just for companies, for individuals and companies, is capital gains tax. Capital gains tax, when you sell an asset, any profit you make from selling that asset, you pay government certain taxes. This time is 30%. It used to be 10% before. It's now 30%. But the good news here is that if you sell your house or your car today, and you make profit, government is not asking you to pay your 30% now as a company. What you just do is that you put in that money as part of your working capital. It's treated as income. Then whenever you are paying your company income tax at the end of the year, if you are even given 90 days or 6, after the year to file your taxes and everything. So it's more or less the same thing. It's just the capital gains tax is a bit changed, and for that capital gains tax, they also included some assets that were not there before. The security, financial market securities, the stock, money market instrument board, that were not there before, they are now there. You know, that's how that will affect the financial market remains to be seen. But I know that operators in that market are also trying to see how they can work around that. So by and large, the government needs money and they want to bring in more taxpayers into the web, and also ensure that the tax is fair and progressive. If you earn more, you pay more. If you earn less, you pay less. If you earn up at a particular level, you don't even pay anything. So for individuals, if you are earning income of up to 800,000 naira, minimum wage earners, which the tax committee have told us that there are many in Nigeria, they don't pay any tax. And you only pay tax on your income. Income you earn for working, not the money that was that, you know, loan. Gifted. You don't pay money on gifted, you know, loan, you know, your brother send you money from abroad. Money sent from abroad, diaspora remittances are not subject to tax, you know. So I use this opportunity to also beg Nigerians to pick this law, read it, because it affects everybody, to know exactly what is allowable and what is not allowable. And in 3 cases, you know, drug, you know, a lot of, about almost 200 items are exempted from tax. For instance, you know, pharmaceutical, medical, and the whole, I don't have them in my head here, but so many daily, very important goods and services have also been exempted. But when I look at that tax law again, it will be very difficult to even implement. Does FRS even have the capacity to implement and enforce this tax law? I guess they will probably focus on the high-ticket taxpayers, because it's quite enormous to be able to dissect. I heard they are going to use IT and web analytics. That's fine, but it will be difficult to implement this tax law because it's a bit more complex and more clumsy than what we used to have. My concern, and which is the biggest concern of Nigerians, is the trust deficit between government and Nigerians in terms of utilizing resources effectively, you know, and you know, to do what needed to be done. For instance, on May 29, 2023, we are told that, hey, once we remove fuel subsidy, we are going to unlock resources. These resources, we're going to use it to tie your road, light will be there, hospitals, schools. I'm sorry to say, Nigerians have not seen the benefit of removing the fuel subsidy.
Are there no efforts in that direction?
We're not talking about potential. Since I was born, I've been hearing about potentials of Nigeria, the resources, the money. It's not about effort here, it's outcome. We're dealing with outcome, because when fuel was when a fuel subsidy was removed, it is not effort from the public. Immediately we start buying fuel from 89, 100 and something to 1,000. Thank God it's now less than 1,000. We start paying immediately. So we need to see. It doesn't take so much time for government to buy electric buses and make it free. You know,
there were some initiatives, you know, at that beginning.
I'm not talking about initiatives. I'm talking about the actual impact on Nigerians. And I'm happy that this program is a calling program for people to share their own experience. You know, I as an individual and my ecosystem, it doesn't show that Nigerians have benefited. Nigerians, not government, have benefited from that removal of subsidy. You know, and that is like tax. You know, removing fuel subsidy is like tax. Some countries that have oil the way we have oil, I was in Qatar, they don't pay tax. And also the trust deficit is a problem for Nigerians. Remember that during this period too, energy reforms was done, where we created this electricity to band A, band B, band C, and the people in band A were told that you are going to get light for 20 hours. You know, we start paying from 66 naira per gig or something to 200 and something. I'm on band A. I can tell you I don't get light up to 4 hours a day where I stay.